Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. So in this part, I will prove my point using the idea of fan a naz aha wa tatib. The art of being straight and honest through the use of the stick. Christ was crucified on 2 sticks. David approached Goliath with his staff, with his sticks. So in 1 Samuel 17, verse 43, we see that Goliath mentions David approaching him with sticks. He said to David, "Am I a dog that you come at me with sticks?" And the Philistine cursed David by his gods. So Christ is said to be the root and offspring of David and the bright morning star. He's crucified on 2 sticks. David approached Goliath with his staff, with his sticks, and you see the word dog is used. When Christ said to the Canaanite woman that he did not come for the dogs, he was talking about those who do not understand the Royal African Falcon martial art order. And we see the word spirit is a play on words for spear it. And the word spear is spar-e scrambled. And it's also rape scrambled because the people who made the language, and the Bible warns of languages, Babylon, Babel, confusion. People get cursed to speaking in a way that's confusing. They get cursed to being in a state of confusion. And in Revelation 17, it talks about how the water stands for the peoples, the nations, the multitudes, the languages. And the word dog is the word God spelled backwards. So we see a lot of this kind of stuff in the wordplay coming from the English language, which is Latin rooted. And as they say, all roads lead to Rome. All roads to hell lead to Rome. Who says all roads lead to Rome? Satan, who's said to be the god of this world through his minions, Freemasons, what have you. Also, it's very key that in verse 46, David replies to him by saying, "This day the Lord will deliver you into my hands, and I'll strike you down and cut off your head. This very day I will give the carcasses of the Philistine army to the birds and the wild animals, and the whole world will know that there's a God in Israel." So the root and offspring of David, and David had said that martial arts, single combat, determines whether or not the whole world will know that there's a God in Israel. And so when we look at, Genesis 10, where it says Nimrod was a mighty hunter and warrior before the Lord, and it's even a proverbial saying, like Nimrod, a mighty hunter before the Lord. And people are called dogs. And there's a Lion of Judah. And we look at history, and we see that Narmer was a famous pharaoh who united the land in Egypt, and a long time ago. Obviously, it's referring to the spirit of Horus in Nimrod, which was a mighty warrior before the Lord. Because Tatib in its true form, again, its true form, not some pharaoh pretending, not some Jew pretending, not some racist, black, white, LGBT, Semitic, whoever pretending, but in its true form. Again, when you look at the saying in its entirety, it is fan a naz aha wa tatib, being straightforward and honest through the use of the stick. So the martial art in its true form, when we're talking about tatib, that's stick fighting. Sparring, sparred spirit. The spear is like a stick with a sharp pointed object on the edge. It could be made of various materials, even stone. Okay? The stone the builder rejected. When we're talking about Tatib in its true form, we're talking about the truth. Who is actually the top martial artist in reality? That's why when people lie, they're pointing to that idea, or they're pointing to an idea that confuses that idea, like we see in the Bible, which in the word Bible is like the word Babel. Because when it's somebody who's outside the top martial artist order, the Royal African Falcon top martial arts heterosexual transcendent order, they don't know what they're talking about. They're just babbling on. But even when they fume and poison me and I slip on my words and they make it so I sound strange, you can still tell that I'm telling the truth. Because I speak with authority, not tree of knowledge, cowardice. I'm going way over time, but I will say in the next video we'll talk about Hebrews 11:32, what have you.